Starting a VR virtual reality journey can be very overwhelming. When you watch all these videos, they have all this high-tech equipment and things attached to them and treadmills and everything that just seems overly extensive. We can simplify it for you. It's mobile friendly, it's easy, and you can really get going. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Tip number one that I do want to talk about in VR and just understanding VR and just how you can start your journey, get yourself a Quest 2. There's just so much components of it that is very easy. You don't need anything that's massively high tech. You don't need any other connections or anything. Only if you're going to stream, that's when you're going to need it to a next level. But just get yourself a Quest 2 or even a Quest 1. But a Quest 1 is already outdated. They're not doing a lot of things for it now. And they're, in hindsight, almost the same price. So get yourself a Quest 2 as it helps out with everything. It simplifies. All you need is your phone, some Wi-Fi, and you can do everything on that standalone. And they're just catching up, and they have month-to-month updates, and they have a lot more that you can find on this channel. So find a Quest 2. It's affordable, it's fast, and it helps you jump into the quote-unquote metaverse and virtual reality at a rapid rate. Very easy and simplified. It takes you step by step on how to draw your boundaries and do everything. Virtual reality made simple is the reason why Quest 2 is going to keep winning from now and beyond. Go to the other way to not just talk about everything positive. One kind of downfall for some people is that when you first get started in VR, you will get some motion sickness. So just embrace for that. There's a lot of immersion. It's right in front of your face, and things that you play possibly on your computer or your Xbox, even if it's like for me, like for a great example, I like to play horror games. So games that are very scary on PC, when you put it in VR, you're very immersed. You're touching doors now and items, and it's right in front of you. So just be prepared for that. When you're moving around, it's very immersed. When you're climbing, when you're playing faster games and FPS games. So I would very much advise slowly get into the games. You can play games like Beat Saber, even though Beat Saber is very immersive too, as what you can see. There's other games that are a lot slower too that help you out, like arcade on the rails type shooter games where you're just kind of just standing still and stationary and just kind of looking around before you start doing like some snap movements and then actual full immersion, smooth locomotion movements. Just know that you are going to get some type of motion sickness, so give yourself limited time play. The headset only lasts about 2 to 2.5 hours anyway, so always stay within that realm. Listen to the headset when the headset is dying. Just definitely log off the headset. Don't try to plug it in, charge it, and keep playing. That's enough time for you because you can get some motion sickness. It's very active and more, so just know that you will get some type of motion sickness. There's a lot of stuff going around the immersion. It is a next level experience when you get into virtual reality. Find some affordable accessories. So to go back to our primary option, we are talking about the Quest 2, and we do have Quest 2 accessories on this channel that we do talk about. If you need help with that also, or just comment them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to help. Quest 2 accessories you can find on my head. I use an adjustable strap that's off-brand aftermarket. I don't buy the expensive ones because I want to save money, obviously. Controller grips, you can buy those too. There's very cheap ones on Amazon that I found for like 11 bucks, and those will be my top 2 primary ones. Everything else would just be more for your essential, but definitely get some controller grips, as you can see on my hands. Or you could barely see it, but on my hands I do have controller grips, and then on my head it is adjustable strap. Any other items that you would need further on will be more of luxury, but I would say some primary affordable accessories would be a strap and some controller grips, which is possibly, if you find them on Amazon aftermarket, they're probably like an extra 30 bucks USD. So 11 bucks for the strap, maybe like 11 bucks for about the controller grips and about 20 bucks for like the strap. This goes back to earlier, you don't need any high tech when it comes to Quest 2. I know I did mention that earlier briefly, but just to even go further, the high tech meaning that you don't need no extra sensors. Like a lot of the virtual reality headsets need sensors, need a PC, need caption, just to be able to capture everything and mixed reality components. Like no, Quest 2 does none of this. You can do stuff on your phone, and you don't need any of that. Literally, Quest 2 is a standalone experience with Wi-Fi, and even when you download the games on Wi-Fi, you can continuously play games offline. So you can literally travel everywhere with your Quest 2 and just play. You can just pick it up and play. It's like a Nintendo Switch or anything. Like if you're not connected to Wi-Fi on your Nintendo Switch, you can play some offline games. Think of it like that, but it's actually immersed into your body. So whatever apps and games you do have downloaded, you can play offline. And a lot of these games offer AI components too, so that is always fun. I always play AI with like my FPS games, some of my horror games, and more, and it's just as fun as if you are playing online servers with people, except it's far more safe and you don't have to worry about talking to randoms and strangers. And yeah, I play offline a lot. You can always play offline. All these games are very signature for playing offline, so that you don't even need Wi-Fi after you additionally download them. Just jump right in. So you don't need any high tech, no crazy computer, no laptops, no anything. You just literally hop in and play your Quest 2. Another tip I'd like to say is that VR is still so for content creators or for just people in general that want to share their experiences, virtual reality is still very very underrated. So that is something I like to always cover, because virtual reality still is very much a free-for-all right now. A lot of people don't really talk about it still, even at some of its height. It's kind of at its peak right now, but it's still weirdly underrated. So the weird part about that is that if you're a content creator, there's so much things you could do. You could be a Beat Saber player, you could be a fitness pro, you could be just meditation and yoga or dancing. Anything that you can figure out in VR is basically a free-for-all right now. There's not like a lot of people dominate. Like if you go check out games like Call of Duty, or if you check out all the Fortnite games, or if you go check out like other experiences with games and everything, like from saturated markets like fitness and makeup, there's a lot of people dominating. In VR, there's not really a lot of people creating that much content, so it's still very underrated, and it's something that I would really advise for somebody to grasp onto, because virtual reality should be like that, and it should be a free-for-all for everybody to just kind of want to create what they want. So in the Web3 format, virtual reality is already very ahead of its time in doing that. You could do literally whatever you want and create whatever you want. There's painting, there's drawing, there's fitness, there's meditation. And I do go over a lot of these activities you can do other than just your traditional gaming. And those are fun things to create and talk about. You could talk about them all day and night. And especially if they're your passions. Like I love fitness, so I love to talk about fitness VR. I love creativity in VR and horror games in VR, so I do that. I love to dance in VR. I like to be silly, so I love to talk about that. And I love to also share the educated side and persuade people that VR is not as hard as it looks, as I'm talking about right now. So much things you could do. Just know that it's very underrated and it's a free-for-all. And if you're a content creator, it's a massive win, because you can create your own market and just utilize and recycle certain ideas that people use. This is my favorite tip right here. One of the last tips if you're just starting your VR journey to help persuade you. VR is an amazing getaway. I don't really have that much physical friends. I don't talk to that much people. I live alone in my home. It's a great getaway. So when I'm stressed out, I'm like in my own thoughts. It helps me out work out. It helps me out just be active. It helps me dance and jam out and the hand tracking is very engaging. And just all the components, all the activities, all the apps day in, day out just help me really get away. And it's something I've become very passionate about, because it's not just escapism in a negative way. If you hate your life, it's just escapism in general. And so you're creating your own reality. You can build buildings. You can do some real estate. You can do just so much when it comes down to virtual reality. And all in all, going back to my primary choice, which is the Quest 2, is that it's affordable, is easy, you can build, and you're completely free, literally no wires or anything, and just everything immersed. It's so incredible. It just feels different. It's just an experience like no other, and you can never explain it, because people watch everything in 2D just like this, but in reality, it's when you're in there in the virtual reality, it's so much of a new experience, and everything's just 3D in your face, and it's so far enjoyable. So I highly recommend that you do really want to start your VR journey, start it and do it now, because it is very new, very underrated, but still very much updating every day. Although it's still somewhat early in some of its factors, Quest 2 is dominating everything. So start your VR journey, think about it, and if you have questions, leave them in the comment section below. That's all we usually talk about on this channel. So I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace.